Our next speaker is Andrew Pollack.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andy Pollack, and I am from Passengers United.
So, let's talk about Grand Central Madison. Like my other colleagues have been talking about, this has been the subject all morning. I want to talk about the Port Washington branch. On the Port Washington branch, it seems that people want 3 trains per hour during the off-peak. And that is a good idea, especially with how bad the traffic has been on the Long Island Expressway. The MTA claims that they want people to go back to public transit. Well, 2 trains per hour on the off-peak is not going to do it on the Port Washington branch, especially because if you go east of Flushing and go all the way to Little Neck, that's considered a transit desert. And that is because we have no direct subway line to Manhattan. You have to go all the way to Flushing. So, I'm hoping that can be discussed in the future. But I am looking forward to Grand Central opening next week. I will try to attend the grand opening next Monday, the 27th. I cannot wait to take one of the first Port Washington trains. I'll be going from Bayside that morning, and it's going to be a fun experience taking one of those trains to Grand Central. Lastly, I was going to bring this up last month, but I didn't. Why are there still wooden ties at Hicksville? I was in Hicksville back in January, and I noticed, wait a minute, there's still wooden ties at this station? But yet when I go west and go into Carl Place, my ride to Mineola was smooth because of concrete ties. So can we please get concrete ties at Hicksville? It's just a simple request I have. So thank you very much, and I expect to be speaking again in March.
Thank you for your remarks. Our next speaker will be Andy Pollack.
Good morning, Richard, and good morning, everyone. Andy Pollack from Passengers United. So, here we go again with subway surfing. This is serious. You know, how many more times do we have to talk about these kids thinking that it's okay to go from car to car and thinking that it's cool, it's fun? No, it's a life or death situation. You know, to think that it's deja vu all over again. You know, when is this going to stop? When? Because this is dangerous behavior. And I was mentioning this to my other members of Passengers United last night, for the record. You know, they don't think about people who have to ride the train to get to point A to point B. So you make those people run late to, let's say, a late night job when this incident happened last night. And I bet their supervisors or their bosses were yelling at them saying, "Oh, why are you late? You know, you should have been..." No, it's not my fault that a kid has to go in between the cars. So this has to stop. You know, I wish the MTA could go to schools and tell these kids, knock it off already. Just stop it. So that's my first point. And my last point I want to mention, now that the R211s are coming in, you know, maybe it's time to update the announcement at Kew Gardens Union Turnpike overall on the E and the F train. When the train pulls in, there should be an announcement not only for the Q10, which has been the status quo, but make sure that there's an automated announcement that said transfer is also available to the Q37 to Resorts World Casino and the Q46 bus to Long Island Jewish Hospital. I even have an Audacity file of me recording those announcements. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to conclude my remarks. Thank you very much for letting me speak today.
Thank you for your remarks.
Our next speaker is Andy Pollack.
Good afternoon, Neil, and good afternoon, everyone. Before I get to my point about the fares, just want to mention something that was acknowledged at CPAC, and I'm very happy to see that construction at the Woodhaven Boulevard station on the M&R line is underway. So that's progress right there. Okay, now let's get to my point about the fares. Well, I've been saying now for the past 4 years, even dating back to when Larry Schwartz was chairing this meeting, that we were going to have to eventually talk about fare hike increases in 2023. Well, that was a different world back in 2019. Nobody thought a global pandemic would cause economic hardship on everybody. Now, we're facing with challenges. A rapidly growing economy 2 years ago that caused inflation to get out of hand has now caused the MTA to go into a fiscal crisis. And now we're at calendar year 2023, and I said we were going to have to get to this point. Well, here we are. We're getting close to that point where $3 fares are on the table yet again. And one of the speakers earlier in transit was mentioning, well, why should we raise the fares when there's 20-minute gaps in service? I tried taking the W train from Queensboro Plaza last month to the last MTA meeting, and guess what? When I was on the train time app, the next train was coming in 20 minutes, so I had to take the Lexington Avenue line to get downtown last month. So we shouldn't be raising fares when there's clearly operator availability on the buses, there's clearly long waits for subway times, and this is not the time to be raising the fare to $3. So that's all I'm going to be saying for now. Thank you for letting me speak this afternoon.
Thank you.